Great to be joined now by ninth-ranked lightweight in the world, Beneil Dariush. Beneil, great to see you ahead of UFC 262. Massive fight for you coming up against Tony Ferguson. How big does this feel? How significant in your career does this fight feel right now?
Every fight is the biggest fight of your life. Every fight for me, I make sure I leave no stone unturned to be victorious. So in terms of the bigness of the fight, for me, it's always the same, and I put the most pressure on myself. But obviously, there's a different aspect to it with all the media and all the attention we're getting, and it's something new it's a new challenge that I have to get used to.
So ranked ninth in the co-main event, big one, as we say. You've been around for a long time, man. Do you think you're getting the respect or the attention you deserve from fans and media now?
I am now. It looks like it. It looks like it. Got a big name ahead of me. So I can't complain anymore.
Are you happy with where you are at ninth? Does that seem reasonable to you, or do you think you should be higher? You've won 7 in a row.
Uh I guess it could be higher, but like at this point, who cares? I'm not going to cry over spoiled milk. Now my focus is Tony, and if I beat Tony, I don't have to worry about those.
It's interesting, reading that you say you're ready to get crazy. There's a certain kind of look that fans and people who follow the sport get when they think of you fighting Tony Ferguson. You know, there's people rubbing their hands together, including you. I feel like this is going to be something else. How do you mentally prepare knowing that this could just be living up to that and be that ridiculous war?
I think one of the things that really helps me prepare is to know that I was born for this. You know, a lot of the fighters you see, their parents will put them in contact sports, and they'll grow up doing contact sports, and they'll be rewarded for fighting. Pretty much, for me it was the opposite. I was raised by my grandma and my mom, and every time I got in a fight, I was disciplined, scolded. When I started competing, I was like the black sheep of the family. But this is my nature. Fighting has always been in my nature, and so I think that's what gives me the confidence and the comfort to go in there and say, hey, if it gets crazy, I'm okay with that.
How have you felt about Tony as an onlooker? You know, when he was on that crazy streak, you talk about the expression of a fighter's fighter. What was your opinion of him when you were looking at him, beating up those guys and being part of those wars and coming out on top for such a long time?
I was actually, honestly, I thought I was going to fight him a lot sooner than now. I was, I always looked at him and said, man, he's so tough. And if it wasn't for that skid that I had, I think I would have fought him at some point. He was on a rise and I was too, and then I hit a skid. So that's the thing. I always thought we were going to fight. I was always ready for this fight. I was always prepared to fight him and look forward to fighting him.
A lot of fans will always do that, right? They get on the negative when he's 37 now. After the loss to Oliveira, a couple of losses on the bounce to him. They say he's not the same guy, that he's on the fall. Do you buy into that?
No, I don't. I don't think he fought easy people. I think he fought the best people in the world, and he came up short. Uh, the man, the man is crazy, and he's talented. He's capable of winning. And if you look past Tony Ferguson, you're gonna look like all his victims prior.
How interesting is it for you, the situation the division is in right now? The opportunity, it seems like, has never been so bright in this division, where you kind of couldn't get near before. You got 2 guys fighting for the belt, Poirier not fighting for the belt. Anything happens to those guys, you never know what's going to happen. Does it feel like the opportunity to get nearer the title has never been so big? Does it feel like that?
Yeah, I would say exactly that. This fight, I think, puts me in the conversation for the title shot. Not guarantee me a title shot, but puts me in the conversation. And then also, I think both Chandler and Oliveira will be active champions. They're not gonna just hang back and we had Conor being champion for a while, and he didn't really defend the belt. And then we had Habib, who was great, who kept defending the belt. To be honest, a part of me is very disappointed he retired. But so I think overall, this is a good thing. I think the fact that two active guys are fighting for the belt is a great thing.
Were you disappointed Khabib retired because you wanted to fight him, or just because you wanted? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the greatest lightweight of all time. If you don't want to fight the greatest lightweight of all time, what are you doing here? Get out of here.
Were you surprised as a competitor then that Poirier didn't want to fight for the belt, that he went for the money fight instead, that he went for McGregor? How do you feel about that?
Well, if you think about it from Poirier's perspective, he probably would have fought Justin Gaethje for the belt, right? Or maybe somebody else. He's like, I've already fought for these guys. I've already fought for a belt, and I'm 1-1 with this guy, and this fight will secure my future. And I get his side. I get what he's doing. I'm not gonna hold it against him. I get why he did that.
Is this the best division in the UFC right now? It seems like there's so many crazy matchups to make.
Without a doubt. The lightweight division is the best division in the UFC. And the crazy part is there's guys outside of the division that people don't know about that are just absolute monsters, and nobody even hears about them.
What's it going to be like for you? So, assuming you win, are you going to be going right back there and checking out the main event? How strange is it going to be for you? Because surely one of these guys is in your destiny. And do you think Chandler comes out, or do Bronx on top?
I'm leaning towards Oliveira. I think he has more tools, so I think he could take it. But at the same time, Chandler, hard to take down, which takes away a lot of the tools of Charles, and has a lot of power. So it's a close fight. It's a pick 'em fight kind of deal. But I'm just leaning a tiny bit towards Charles.
Were you shocked at all of the way that Chandler came into the UFC and made such a statement against Dan Hooker?
I mean, that's a typical Chandler fight. He comes out, he's either super explosive and finishes you off early, or he uses his wrestling and grinds and gets a decision. So what surprised me was actually Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker seemed a little bit tentative and not really willing to get after it. He was so worried about something, and he didn't seem like he was all there. And I thought he had typically has a great chin, and he puts a lot of pressure, and I didn't see that from him. I think he was trying to get comfortable in the octagon or something, whatever it was. Chandler looked great for sure, but I thought Hooker looked a little bit unlike himself.
Are you excited to strike with Tony? We know he's very game for that, but he can also, he's got his 10th planet. He's pretty elusive on the ground as well. What excites you in terms of the technical aspect of this fight?
I think I'm excited for the striking because obviously I would say that's Tony's best game. That's Tony's money. That's what wins him his fights. He's won majority of his fights with his striking and just wearing people out. And I'm excited to deal with that. I'm looking forward to dealing with that. And I think I can outstrike him. I don't think his striking is so out there that I have to be so stressed out and not be able to keep up. I think I'll be fine. So
say it all goes your way. We talked a lot about opportunity. So is that on your mind? Are you going to make the most of that opportunity on the microphone? And have you got it in mind, your call out for after the fight?
I got a call out, but maybe I'll keep it to myself. It's a special call out.
All right, awesome. Okay, finally, man, I just wanted that trilogy then, since it is on your radar, it could very much be in your future. Poirier or McGregor, who's going to win there?
I'm going with Poirier. I picked Poirier the second time they fought, the last time they fought. And the reason is because he's been in that octagon. He's had, I think, like hours actually more than Conor in the recent years, just because that experience makes a difference. His ability to take a punch, because one of the things people don't realize, we take a punch better being in the proper base. Chin up, terrible for a punch. Chin down, you take a punch better. And I think he's really figuring out where to keep his chin and to not get hit, one, and where to keep his hands. And then two, if he does get hit, he has the ability to absorb the punch and roll with the punches. And I think that gives Connor a difficult time. So I'm leaning towards Dustin again, but you know, we'll see what happens. Either one's fine with me. I'm not too picky as far as who I fight. I just want to fight and enjoy myself.
It's all about 155. Can't wait to see you in action, mate. It's going to be a belter. Thanks for the interview. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me.